Hello and welcome back to the Planet Protectors live stream. Tonight I talk to you about the weirdness of the natural world. It is a Did You Know special. Before that you need the riddle, so let's hear it. What is seen in the middle of March and April but can't be seen at the beginning of each month? The answer will be revealed at the end of the show, and that is when you can submit your answers. The Did You Know segment was introduced at the beginning of Season 2. Since then, there have been some wacky facts about animals and plants. This episode is full of them. I will go through some of the craziest facts about animals and some facts about animal development and growth throughout the ages. Well, without further ado, let's start. Alright, just getting the image loaded up. The first Did You Know of the night is, did you know why some birds can't fly? Pictured are just a few birds that are not able to fly. Birds such as ostriches, kiwis, emus, and penguins cannot fly in the air like their relatives. Their tiny wings can't hold their heavy body weight. Well, heavy depending on what species of bird it is. Let's start at the beginning. All birds could fully fly at the start. There are advantages to flight too. You can escape predators easier, you can find food easier, and you can migrate by traveling long distances. Here's why some birds don't need to fly. When a bird doesn't need to fly, they really just don't. They wouldn't have to fly because maybe there are no predators around or there is an abundance of food. Usually they find an island where there are no predators. Over the next thousands of years, the bird's body changes to match its new lifestyle. Their wings get smaller, their bones change from being hollow to being rock hard inside. Getting more dense inside. Their feathers can become fluff and their flight muscles disappear or shrink. That is, except for one fantastic bird, the penguin. Penguins use these flight muscles to swim underwater, and some people call it flying underwater too. Flightless birds over time get heavier, and if they were to try to fly right now, they would not physically be able to fly. Like ostriches gained hundreds of pounds just by not having to fly. And also, birds that run more, that can't fly, like roadrunners and ostriches, their leg muscles, so their thigh muscles, got a lot bigger, their feet got a lot bigger, so their bodies are meant for land now. Alright, the next Did You Know is one that you have definitely heard of, but you might not know if it's true or not. This next Did You Know is, did you know why elephants have such a good memory, or how they have such a good memory? Elephants have a large brain, so already they have more space in their heads for memories than other animals and people do. Humans have a brain that weighs 3 pounds, but elephants have a brain that can weigh up to 10 pounds. They're able to recognize humans and other elephants too. They can recognize up to 30 different elephants by sight or smell. They can also remember geographical locations too. They know the different migration routes. In fact, a study showed that elephants have a better memory than some learning skills than humans do. They have the same EQ rate of chimpanzees, and we all know that humans are closely related to chimps. So we probably share a lot of the same headspace. They can also remember other animals that have an imprint or have made a difference in their life. There's this one scenario where there were these 2 circus elephants, and 30 years later, they met up again and they recognized each other. The last fact is elephants can actually feel stress, just like humans. They can feel stress. That's really interesting, and that just shows how closely in common they are to humans, which I think is pretty cool. Alright, this is the third Did You Know of the night. So this Did You Know you might have wondered before but never really done the research needed. Did you know why blue whales weigh so much? There's a picture of a blue whale for you. The blue whale is the largest animal alive on the planet. They weigh between 110,000 pounds to 330,000 pounds, aka the weight of 40 African elephants, and they are the length of a basketball court or up to 30 meters. Whoa. Here is the big answer to their size. Krill. Krill are shrimp-like creatures that are no more than 2 centimeters in size. Krill are also found in big patches, so there's a lot of them. If you've ever seen movies where there's all these fish together and they make shapes, like in Finding Nemo, then imagine that being krill and not making those shapes. And the blue whales eat all of them. Nom 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 nom. For every big gulp that these whales take, they take 120% of their body weight in krill. These whales eating so much, they have had their body growing. Well, their body has grown because they're eating so much. Their heart can be the size of a small car. A small car is how big their heart is. That's bigger than like 5 humans put together. So, yeah, big animal, and their tongue weighs as much as an elephant. That's a lot. These truly are crazy, but also incredible creatures. The last Did You Know of the night is one that I'm really interested in. So this one isn't as interesting, but it's a really weird fact. So, here it is. Did you know that snails can sleep up to 3 years? Okay, you need a picture of a snail for this, but they can sleep up to 3 years. Here's what's going on with them. For snails to survive, they need moisture, and if they're in the right place where there's a lot of moisture, they can sleep for 3 years. They may not be able to do this in Canada because of winter, but I mean, it's still a pretty cool talent. Snails have also been known to go into hibernation. It's crazy because hibernation is what bears do when they sleep for the winter. It's pretty crazy stuff what these animals do. So those were 4 Did You Knows. If you have any Did You Knows that you want to recommend for the live stream, you can email Planet Protectors at planetprotectorschallenges@gmail.com, or there is a link to that in our email, which is in the bio of the Instagram page. Now on to a new season 2. Well, no, it's a 2021 topic. It's the EcoPot. These, you all know how this works. These cards were freshly shuffled beforehand, and this part of the show is not scripted. So let's see what cards we got. The first card is research any local environmental charities you can volunteer with. If there aren't any, research how to start your own. This one's great. Harder to do during COVID, but donating your time is one of the best ways to help support the environment. And it doesn't have to just be donations, because time is almost just as good. Well, no, it's not almost. It is just as good as donations. All right, next one is this guy. All right. Embrace the concept of clean beauty. Research beauty brands that are vegan, cruelty-free, and use more sustainable production methods. I do not use makeup, but for the people who do, and really anything that could have been tested on animals, this one's good. And the vegan in that means there was no animal cruelty in it, and there was there's no meat, or I guess no meat, but no animals were in the process of making it. All right, those are to the people who use makeup. All right, the next EcoPot is to you. Invest in a solar phone charger for a sustainable way to charge your phone. I saw this one when I first got this deck, and I looked on Amazon with phone chargers, and like they're really interesting. You can like put it out in the sun, and then it can charge your phone. And depending on what type of computer you have, it could technically charge your computer and tablet or iPad as well. So I do recommend the solar charger. You can look it up on the internet, Google it. All right, this is the last eco pot of the night. It is research companies that use sustainable palm oil in their products and try to avoid ones that don't. So if you look at if you look at the product, there's a company, RSPO, I think, and it's using palm oil responsibly, and it's really great. There's an app that you can download. It is called Palm Oil, and you can scan the barcode for the product, and it will tell you if that company is registered for the RSPO, which is Sustainable Palm Oil. So yeah, this one's really important. And if you did see the Halloween special for the live stream, you can check it out. That is an IGTV on Instagram under Planet Protectors, and I talk about palm oil and its effects on the environment in orangutans. So yeah, this one's a keeper for sure. All right, that was the EcoPot. Now, this week's animal of the week is one that you probably have never heard of before. To be honest, I had no idea that it was a thing before I wrote this live stream. I wanted a new animal on the show. So I looked up animals people have never really heard of, and I found this little guy. All right, so this week's animal is the bilby. Have you ever heard of him? Seen him? Anyway, bilby. Bilbies are marsupials, so that means they are mammals and have a pouch just like a kangaroo. These are also found in the Australian outback. Speaking of pouches, female bilbies' pouches are backwards, so that means they would usually be inside the pouch. The pouch would usually be on the inside, but it's flipped. So it would usually be the inside is the outside. So it's kind of cool. They eat insects, lizards, worms, fruits, and seeds. The habitat for these animals is as basic as it gets, the Australian outback. Here's another cool fact. Bilbies live in burrows that can sometimes be 2 meters deep. And here's the last fact of the night. Bilbies are a symbol of Easter in Australia. Easter. So in Australia, it started with a little girl who was writing a paper for school in 1968, and now it is an Easter icon of Australia. So no bunny, but it's the Easter bilby. Woo! All right, well, that was a great episode of the live stream. From 4 awesome Did You Knows to an animal that I had never heard of, and I'm guessing you had never heard of it either. Now, you need an answer to the riddle, so let's answer it. But I will tell you it first. What is seen in the middle of March and April but can't be seen at the beginning of each month? Please submit your answers now. Right? Okay, the answer is, drumroll please, the letter R. So congratulations to people who got it right. There will also be a Planet Protectors announcement happening on Friday, March 5th, so this Friday. So just keep updated with the Instagram, and the announcement will be posted by 7 o'clock p.m. So by then, probably before that, but absolutely by 7 p.m. Make sure to check out the Planet Protectors podcast with all archived episodes from Season 2, now streaming on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts. That's it for me. Have a great rest of your evening. Remember to stay eco, and I will see you in 2 weeks. See ya!